Okay guys, I'll start with the session for now. Like in the previous class, let me share my screen first. If you are not able to see the screen or if you are not able to hear me, please stop me in the session so that I'll make some changes so that you can hear me or you can see my screen comfortably. So in the previous session, we talked about loops, like how you are going to pick out the elements, like how you are going to loop through it, like iterate through it, and we had multi-dimensional arrays. Sorry for the interruption guys. So in the previous session we had about arrays, like multi-dimensional arrays, in which we'll be having like this is a single array and this is multi-dimensional array, and how we are going to loop it. Like if we have this single, we are going to iterate using the for loop, but what if it is I'm having like two-dimensional? So if I run this, it's just a recap. You are able to see rows and columns, and here I have used loop inside a loop. So this is called nested loops. And one more thing what I wanted to say is that about the enhanced loops. So I think everyone has been clear with the concept of loops: for loops, while loops, do loops, enhanced for loops, nested for loops. So today we will be discussing about the methods. So when I say method is something which is like a block of code which only runs when it's called. Like suppose you only pick up the phone if someone calls, you will be answering it like an unknown call. Like that, method is something which is like inside a block of code and it runs only when it is called. So we shall create a new package and see with these examples how the method works. For now I'll create a new package for methods. So the package name will be methods. So I will remove these classes, previous session classes, and here in the method I will create a new class. I will create as my method. The class name, let it be as name of my method, and I will include the main method. As I said before, this main method, there are so many inbuilt methods which Java provides for the functionality. Like look here, even this is called a method. Method and functions are one and the same. You can either call it method or you can call it as a function. Both are one and the same. Here I said this is like an inbuilt function. This is the main method. When I started Java session, I told you every class should have a main method where your code has to be executed. Like whatever the code you are going to write for an application, you will be having a main method in which your code will get executed in this main method. Look here, SYSOUT. This is a print method. Look, even this is known as a method which is an inbuilt method to print out something you need. So, and this works only inside a main method. If you take it out and if you just paste it here, look, Java compiler is showing error. So this main method should always be inside a method. This printout method should always be inside a method, and this is a main method of a class. Look, this is the class, you have a braces, and this is a method where these are called parameters or arguments, and this is a simple print method in which when you use parenthesis, right, it gets invoked. Look, now inside of this I'll be adding something like welcome to my application. Now for now this is like a inbuilt function. Now if I run this, in the main method I have something to print. What to print? It's like system.out.println. So as if like this printout method or like the main method, you can customize number of methods as you wish for your application. For now I'll just now show a simple method, like how to declare a simple method. It's like that. I'll show, like you have to write first the static. I will tell you why you have to write the static keyword. This is a keyword. And void is a keyword which tells for the return type. Like suppose in a function, when you are writing a function, you are expecting to return a value, you will be writing the data types. I will show in the coming examples. For now, void means there is no return type. It is just a function, plain function. You have to understand like that. So static is a keyword, void is a keyword, and you are going to give the function name. For now, I'll give the function name as fun. If not, I'll give it as show. This is a variable name. You can give whatever the name you want. After this, you will be having parentheses. This thing here, the round brackets, these are called parentheses. So inside this, if you write anything, it is been read as an arguments or parameters. And then you have a set of flower brackets, which are curly braces. Inside this, whatever you write, it gets invoked here. So this is the same thing what I told you guys before, like public static void main is a function, and here inside this, now this is a function, this is an inbuilt function. So I have selected at the beginning of creating a class, but this is also a function which we call the main function or the main method. So this is how you declare it. And now here, as you can see, I have created a simple method, and here I'll be writing hello, good evening everyone. So you have created a method. At the beginning of the class, I said method is a block of code, which only runs when it is called. So how to call this function? It is also called as invoking a function. How to invoke it? You have to invoke it where it is really gets executed. Means in the main method you have to invoke it. So how to invoke the function? You just have to use this variable, the function name variable. You have to just use it, show. So look, now this is like I'm calling the function. What it does means it is invoking. So whenever I state this, it is going to execute this. Look now, system.out.println, I haven't written anywhere here, but I have written it inside a method which is also called as function. Now if I run it, look here, you are able to see hello, good evening everyone. So what is hello, good evening everyone? It is inside a method, show. I am invoking it. So this is how you invoke a function. How to invoke a function? Function name and parenthesis. If you do this, the function will get invoked. It gets called. So when it gets called, whatever the code you have inside the function, it gets executed. So once again, I'll show you guys from the beginning. Like method is a set of code which only runs when it is called. So how to create a method? The method is simple. You have to use the name, show, then the parenthesis, then the flower bracket. So this is how you declare a method. But in Java, you have to use the keywords. For now, I'll be using a static keyword, static void, because whenever you declare a function, you need a return type. For now, I'm not asking anything for my function to return, so I'll be using void. I will tell you what to use instead of void if I am expecting a return type. And static I am using here because this is a keyword which differentiate from the object. I will show you the example. For now, understand that this is how you declare a function, and inside this brackets you have to write the code. So whenever the function is called, this is the thing that has to be shown. So again, I am going to write hello everyone, it's a great evening. So this is my method. So I have created a method in the name of the show, and I have written inside something.println. So whenever the show is called, whatever inside is this, it is going to get executed. So how to call that? You have to call that using show, the name of the function and the parenthesis. Look, now you are able to see I have been calling. So this is how you call a method or a function. Now if I run it, you are able to see whatever inside the function is. Like, hello everyone, it's a great evening. And if I invoke this anywhere else other than the main method, compiler will give me the error. Look here, it is showing me the error because you are invoking it, means you are calling it. If you are calling it, it means that it has to execute whatever that is present inside of it. So always you have to execute it like in the main method. Like, what is main method? Obviously it's like an execution statement. Whatever you want to execute, it should be inside of a main method. So even this is a method, this is a customized method what I have created, and show. Now I'll click on the run. Now you are able to see, hello everyone, it is a great evening. And one more thing I wanted to tell you is that why you will be using static. Now from all these sessions I haven't explained about classes and objects so far. So when I start with classes and objects, which is like we'll be starting from tomorrow, then you will come to know why you have to use static. For now, if I give this as public, look now, if I make this keyword as public, look now, here you cannot invoke a function because look here at the error, you are able to see that cannot make a static reference to the non-static method show from the type my method. If you have to give public, then if you have to invoke show, we have to use the object. How to create an object is that you have to take the class name. Just know this, brief explanation I'll give tomorrow. I'll start with the class and the objects. For now, just assume that you are taking the class name. You are taking a class name and you are assigning a new variable. You can give the name whatever you want. For now, I'll give just m, and is equal to, I'll use a new keyword, and then I'll be using the same class but with the parenthesis. So now if I do this, you are able to see I have got no error. Now I'll be using this reference. This is an object. This is an object of my method. So using the my method class, I have created an object, and using that object I am going to invoke the show method. So if I invoke now, look, no errors here. So if I invoke now, I am able to get the output. Look, you are getting the output, but here I have used public. Public means it tells the Java compiler that it's a method, and what Java compilers looks for is that it has to be an object, instance of that class has to be created, only then it runs. If I have not, for now I have not explained what are objects, constructors and classes, so you don't know this. If you do this Java compiler, now I'll remove n. If I have not mentioned m, then if you try to invoke, you will be getting this error. Why? Because Java compiler will tell you that you have not created the object, you cannot make this as a public to run. So at that time we will be using static, and if I use static, no errors here. So until and unless you create an object of a class, you cannot make the keyword as public for a customizable method, for the method what you have created. For inbuilt method it's okay. Java compiler, these are all inbuilt methods, so it runs well and good. But for the method what you create, for the class what you have been created, for that it has to be static. If you have to make it public, you have to create the object, and how to create this object I will show tomorrow. So for now assume that static is the keyword what you are going to use, and this is how you call a function. And now if I run it, look, you got the output, hello everyone, it's a great evening. Now if I change this, welcome to session, and if I run this, you can see welcome to session. And one more thing, the main use of the method is that once if you have written code, you can call it multiple times, n number of times it gets executed. Look, for now I have called it 4 times. The code what I have written is only once, but I have called it 4 times, and if I run my application, you are able to see the output for 4 times. So what method really does is that it can be written once but can be invoked n number of times as you wish, as per your requirement. So this is all about the methods. And in methods, as I said, here in the parenthesis we will be passing the arguments. So I will tell you how to pass the arguments now with the same example. For now, let the show be just once, let it be executed for only once. Now to pass the parameter, first you have to give the data type of the parameter. So for now I'll give string, then I'll give the variable name as name. So this is how you, for now you are getting this error, just ignore it. From here, from the start, just try to understand that I have passed a parameter here. So this is the parameter, you have to give the data type. If you have not given the data type, compiler will give you error. You have asked me something to pass inside the parameter, but what it is, I want to know whether it is a number you want to pass, whether it is a string you have to pass, what it is. So the compiler has to know. So for that I'll be saying it as a string data type. So you got the name here, and in this function system.output.println method, I am going to use this as welcome, and I am going to concatenate here using the plus operator, and I am going to using variable name. So whatever I insert here, which is of the data type string, when I call this function, it should give me the output as welcome and whatever the thing I have entered, because that is the parameter what I have entered here. So now when I say show, it is showing error because this show is a function. When I have written the function, I have passed the parameter. When I am going to call it, I have to pass the parameter. So I'll give here name as Rajesh. So now the error has gone. So this is a string what I have given. Now suppose you are not able to see the error here. So what if I use here as 100? Look, if I use 100, it is showing me error because I have used string. So what is string? Whatever that is inside a double quotes, that is known as strings. If 100 is here, which is of data type integer, you cannot use this. For that you have to make the data type int. If you make this int, compiler does not give you error. For now I am using string data type, so I have to pass the name here, like not exactly like name, whatever you want to do, you can do it inside the double quotes, which is a data type string. So I'll give Rajesh, and now if I run it, you are able to see welcome Rajesh. So how you are able to get this Rajesh? You have not given inside the function, but you have passed the parameter, like whatever I am going to enter, which is like of the data type string, I have to get the output along with the whatever written inside the function. So if I call this multiple times with different names, I will be calling. So after Rajesh, I will be calling Vikas, and I will be calling Gunashekar, and I will call Hitesh, and at last I will call Jagan. Now if I run my method along with the parameters, you are able to see welcome Rajesh, welcome Vikas, welcome Gunashekar, welcome Hitesh, and welcome Jagan. But I have used the print method only once, but I am able to call 5 different names along with the welcome. So this is all about the methods using the parameters. So the parameter always should be inside the parenthesis, and one more thing is that you have to give the data type. If you have not mentioned the data type, then it will give you the error. Look here, whenever you call, all the 5 things will be giving you error. So these are the restrictions Java compiler throws you for writing your own customizable methods. And one more thing here, what I have to say is that, like, you can have n number of invocations here, like you can invoke it as many times as you wish. So this is about the method. Now, like, what if you have to pass 2 parameters? Look guys, here in this parenthesis you can pass n number of parameters. So I'll ask, all you have to do is that after giving one parameter, you will be using comma, and again this is how you pass the parameter. First the string name. For now I'll use the data type int. After the comma, I'll give it as int, and I'll write it as age. So here you can see you got the error because while writing the function you have passed 2 parameters. while invoking it you have given only one parameter, so it is showing error. But I'll make clear here, welcome server, like welcome name, another plus operator, then I will ask to print your age is, then I will use that age parameter. So here I cannot use strings here because it gives me error, because the second parameter is of int, so I have to use the numbers or integer data type. So for Rajesh I'll give it as 32-year-old and Vikas as 27-year-old. For Gunashekar as 45, and for Hitesh let it be 53, and for Jagan let it be 70. So this is the example, and when I run my application, now you are able to see welcome Rajesh, your age is, wait, I'll make the space here, now I'll run it. Look, you are able to see welcome Rajesh, your age is 32, welcome Vikas, your age is 27, welcome Gunashri, your age is 45, welcome Hitesh, your age is 53, welcome Jagan, your age is 17. So this is how you initiate your parameters or the arguments. So this is how you have to do it. And one more thing is that you have to give the data type for any, you can have 100 parameters, and for all the 100 you have to give the data type. So for now I'll make this as a string, and for this age I'll make it as a place, and I'll make it welcome name from, I'll make it as from, and I'll make it as a place. So this is the code what I have written. Like I have two parameters which are like two string data type, and here I'm getting error because I have used integer, because the second data type it accepts only string. So now I'll make the place names which is of like string. So Rajesh from Dharwad, because so look, I'm not writing any for here, I'm just using the comma and I'm giving two values, like these are the two values, the first value is for name, the second value is for of place. So while invoking it, these are the two things. So when I am calling the function, it gets executed, it is going to give me this. So because I'll make it as Bangalore, and Gunashekar from Hubballi, and Hitesh from Maharashtra, Jagan from Kodagu. Look now, this is the function what I am calling. So this is the function name, and for calling you have to use the parenthesis. This is the parenthesis, and I have given two parameters. The data type should be string, both should be string, so both are string. And when I call this function, this is the line that has to execute. So what is the line? Welcome name, the first parameter, and I am using a concatenation method which is like from, using the plus operator, then place. Now if I run my application, now you can see welcome Rajesh from Dharwad, welcome Vikas from Bangalore, welcome Gunashri from Hubballi, welcome Hitesh from Maharashtra, welcome Jagan from Kodagu. So this is all about the methods along with the parameters. You can call it either a method or a function, both are one and the same. And as I said before, why you have to give void? Void means it has no return type, you are just asking something to execute. What if suppose you have a value, and you want it to be fetched, at that time you cannot use void, you have to use the data type. So I hope everyone are clear with this example. Saswati, Amrut, Asha, Aishwarya, you get to know about this example now.
Yes, sir.
So here what I said about void, it is like you are asking only to type whatever it is inside it, you are not asking anything to return. Like I want something out of it, like a new value. It is not a new value, like you are asking just to pass two strings, and after receiving the two strings you are getting this output. So what next is that instead of void, suppose if you are expecting a return value, you are going to use data type but not the void. So for now I will delete everything, just assume this example, or else I'll create a new one so that you will get to know easily with the comparison. Return type examples. So this is the class name, and I'll select the main method. Look here, as I said how to create a method. Now I'll create a static method. Static. Here I'm not going to use void. Suppose for now, just assume I have used void, and now I'm going to call a function, addition function. This is the addition method. Then I'm going to write a function, and inside this I'll be having a value like int a and another variable int b, and inside this I'm going to write sysout and here a plus b. So you got this value. Now if I call this as add, I'll do it sysout add. Just a second guys, just hold on for a second. ಹಲೋ ಹೇಳ್ಪುಟ ಮನೇಲಿ ಹ್ಞೂ ಕೇಳ್ತೀನಿ. 7 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಸೆಷನ್ ಮುಗಿಯುತ್ತೆ, ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. ಅವ್ರು ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ನಾನು ನೆನ್ನೆನೇ ಕೇಳಿದೆ, ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. ನಾನು ಬರ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ ಜೊತೆಗಿರೋ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು 1/4 ಗಂಟೆ. ಮಾಮನೋಡರಮ್ಮನ ಅದೇ ಮಾಮೂಲಿ ಅಂಗಡಿ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಐತೆ, ಎಲ್ಲಡಿಕೆ ಬಾಳೆಹಣ್ಣು. ನಾನು ಒಂದ್ಸಲಿ 101 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ. Sorry for the interruption guys, I had a call. So what I was telling you, that I'm going to print out, and here I'm going to pass the parameter 3 and 4. Look here, you are able to see the error here. So what the error is, the method println boolean is a type, printstream is not applicable for the arguments. Suppose what it is telling me is that the void method cannot get the new value. So what if I make this void as int data type? Look, it is telling me again, giving them in the value error. So I'm going to check what the error is, that this method must return a value of int type. The method should contain a value of int type, so you cannot directly print it. So all you have to do is that you have to use the return. So here you have to use the return. Look, now no errors are present because this is an operation, like this is for the integers. Here it's a concatenation. You are not asking to return a new value, you are just asking whatever you have passed the parameter, you are printing out. But here you are asking for an operation to be performed, so you have to give a return type, and when you have a return type you have to give the data type. So you cannot use void here. If you use void, look here, Java compilers give you error. You have to give the data type. So for now I'll give it as an int. Now I'm executing this function, I'm invoking this function in the print method. So what it is going to print is that the invoke of this function, like 3 and 4, it is returning 3 plus 4. So I should be able to get the answer as 7. Look, you are able to see here in the console, you got the value as 7. So this is why void is different from return type. Look here, this is the difference. So as I said before, you can call it n number of times. This function can be called n number of times. Look here, I'll make this as 13. I'll make the value changes here. I'll make this 23 4. I'll make this 33 4. I'll make this 73. I'll make the last one as 73 4. And now if I run my application, you might ask me one question, that for here I have not used the system.println, so I am directly invoking it. I have the system.println here, so if I have to print it, I have to print it out here. If I don't have my print statement here, I have to use it here, so I'll be calling this function inside the main method. That's what I'm doing here. I'm invoking the function, and after it gets invoked, the value I am printing out. So 3 plus 4 7, 13 plus 14 27, 23 plus 4 is 27, 33 4 is 37, 73 4 is 77. So this is how, when you use int data type and void keyword, if your method has a return type, like you have a return value, you have to mention the data type. If you don't have a return type, you have nothing to return here, you will be using the void. So this is all about the functionalities, I mean the methods and functions. So one more example, like as I said that day, whether for if else condition, I have just used the condition. Now we shall use like how to use that if else in a method. So I hope everyone get to know why I'll be using the void keyword and when to use the data type keyword, right? No doubt, right?
No, sir.
What about Saraswati, Asha and Amrut?
It's clear, sir. No, sir, it's not.
So just you have to analyze that when you have a return type, you have to use the data type for a return call. If you are using void, it is understood that you are not asking the function to return anything. Now we shall go and do a customizable method which is of like this, and we shall create on some conditions. So what I'll do is that I'll remove everything here. So I'll remove everything here. I'm doing it multiple times so that you know the syntax. The syntax is, for now I'm using static, as I said, you are not aware of the objects. So once you learn about the objects, the static keyword will be replaced by the public keyword. For now assume that static. I'll be doing void because I have a no value, I don't have any return type. Then I'll give the function name as check. Now I'll give the parenthesis. Now I'll give the code braces. So inside this I have to execute the code. Now what I'll be doing is that I'll be passing a parameter, like I'll be passing a parameter age. Can anyone tell me why I'm getting this error even after I've passed the parameter?
Data type, sir.
Yeah, that's correct. I have to give the data type so that my function knows the parameter what I'm going to pass will be the data type of integer. So when I enter a string while calling the function, compiler gives me error. You have passed integer, pass me the integer, not the string. So here I'm going to use if else condition. If, so this is the syntax. This is the syntax for if else condition, and I'm going to check the parameter age what I'm going to pass should be greater than 18. If it is greater than 18, I want this statement to print out, like SYSOUT, and I'm going to say you are eligible to apply for visa. So when I invoke the function and I pass the parameter of my age, and if my age is above 18, this function states that you are eligible to apply for visa. So I'll invoke. How to invoke? You have to give the function name and you have to give the parenthesis. So this is how you invoke the function. Suppose if you have a parameter, you have to pass the parameter. For now I'll pass the parameter as 19. So this is the age, and if age is greater than 18, like 19 is greater than 18, I'm going to get this statement. So I'll run my application. So I got the output, you are eligible to apply for visa. So what if the age is less than 18? I'll make this as 14, which is obviously less than 18. So if I run it, I'll be not getting any output here because I have checked the condition only if it is for more than 18. So what if it is less than 18? For that I'll be using else, which is, this is the syntax. So for else, I'm going to write SYSOUT, and here you are not eligible. So when I invoke this function passing the parameter of 14, which is less than 18, I should be getting this statement. So it is telling me you are not eligible. So one more thing, what I'm going to make this example interesting is that I have to tell the application, like whenever the function is getting called, if I am less than 18, the output should be like how many years I have to wait more, like how many years I have to wait to get that eligibility for the visa card. So what I'm going to write here is that you are not eligible, please wait for. So this is the statement. So nothing is random here, like it is nothing related to the invoke function. But suppose if you say 14, I have to wait for 4 years. When I say 15, I have to wait for 3 years. So for that, what I will be doing is that I'll be adding a plus operator, and I'll be using a parenthesis. Why parenthesis? Because I'm asking for an operation to work here. So what is the operation? 18 minus whatever the number I have entered, and again I'm going to use the plus sign, and I'm going to write here as years. And now I'll invoke my function, which is like check. Now if I invoke my functions, the age is 14. So what as well I should be getting is that it should be telling I am not eligible and I have to wait for 4 years. I have given the operation 18 minus age, 18 minus whatever the input parameter I have given. So if I run this, look, it is telling me you are not eligible, please wait for 4 years. So what if I make this as 10? The age is 10. It has to deny my access for the visa, and how many years I have to wait, it is going to tell me. So it is still running. You are not eligible, wait for 8 years so that I can get 18. So what if it is 17? I should get the output that I should wait for only 1 year. You are not eligible, please wait for 1 year. So this is how you write code inside your method, and when you invoke your function, the code what it has to be executed. So this is how you write the methods. So this is all related to the methods. And one more thing I would like to say is that about the method overloading. You have two options here when it comes to method. One is method overloading and one is method overriding. Method overriding is completely related to inheritance. As of now, I have not taken anything about the inheritance. So we shall see about method overriding later in the session, like in the upcoming classes. We shall deal with the method overloading. So what exactly is method overloading? Method overloading is nothing but you have a function, you have a method, you can have the same method name, but you can have different parameters or you can have different data types. So I'll create a new example here. Example I'm going to show is about method overloading. Overriding is different from overloading. Overriding we shall see once we complete about the inheritance, because it is completely related to inheritance. But method overloading is not related to anything. So I'll take the example now. Method overloading example. So I have created the method overloading example. So what exactly is method overloading example is that I have an example, I will explain you there so that you can get to know. Yeah, here I have an example which I have taken from the previous session. Like you can have the name, you can have the method name, same method name you can have it, but here as you can see you can have different number of parameters. So this is all about the method overloading. Like you can have a multiple method names, you can have multiple method name. Look here, I am using multiply, method name multiply, method name multiply, but even the return type should be different one. Look, first it has double, next is an int, and I have two int, but here as you can see I have two parameters and here three parameters. And how to deal with this I'm going to tell you. Suppose now, for now, assume that you have a plain example here. This is the plain. Now I'm going to create a method, static int. I'm going to do as add. So this is my method. Inside the method I will ask the parameter int a and int b, and when I say int I have to write a return value like return a plus b. Now I'll copy paste the same method with the same name. Alt Shift F. As you can see now, Java compiler is giving me error because you cannot have a same method name and you cannot have the same parameters, but the error gets cleared when if you add one more parameter, int c. Now you can see error has been went. Why? Because it is different from this, because it has two parameters and here it has three parameters, and the return type I'm going to add c. So now the difference here is that you have two different parameters, like you have two here and you have three here, and I will run it, and here you just cannot invoke it directly like add and just write the numbers 3 and 2. It gives you error. Even if it is not giving you error, once if you run it right, look here, I'll make it is from the statement to print the value, whatever the output value I need, I'm going to add 4 and 4. So this is A and this is B, and if I run it, you should be getting the value as 8 because this function reads for the first parameter, and if I do it same with 3 parameters, the value should be 12. So what Java compiler does here is that it checks whether there is a method, and it checks for the number of parameters. Yeah, there is a method for two parameters which are like A and B, and whether it checks for the three parameters which are like int A, int B and int C. So this is called method overloading. You are loading more to it. Here you have two parameters, here you have loaded one extra. So this is all about method overloading. So when you are loading the function with additional parameters, you call it as method overloading. And one more is that, suppose if you have int B, int A and int B, it will give you error because you have same data type, you have same number of parameters. All you have to do is that you will be using a different data type which is like double. Here, but I'm still able to get the error because the parameters is of int. When I say double return type, it should be of double only. It cannot have a, look, it can have a different one, but for now just try to understand that data type value will be like different. Now I'm getting this error because this functionality I have been erased here. So Java compiler is telling me that where is the method where you have written for the 3 parameters. So if I remove this, then the error goes because 3 parameter method I have removed it. Now if I do it as 4.5 and 4.5, and if I run this example, answer should be 9. Answer is 9. Suppose if I have not mentioned, I will comment it out. If I have not mentioned double data type, then if I use 4.5, I'll comment out here. This is for the integer type, right? And for the int, if I use 0.5, it is throwing me error because I have not used double. This is for int. When I say int, it is of a whole number. For fractional part, we will be having 2 data types, which are like double and float. So based on the data type, we have to pass the parameter. Based on the return values, we have to pass the parameter. Now once if I uncomment it, now for this example, what Java compiler does is that it checks for the parameters 4 and 4, which is for integers. Yeah, I have seen the method. It goes for 4.5, 4.5 and 4. Yeah, there is a method. Like if you mention one double is also, it's okay. Like 4 is like 4.0. The Java compiler will read it as 4.0 only. Like if you run it, the answer should be 8.5. Like 4.5, 4.0. So the answer is 8.5. So this is all about the methods, like passing a single parameter, double parameters, and method overloading, and if else example how you can write inside your methods. So if you practice methods like for addition, subtraction, multiplication, like whatever, like you have to print out a name using the string data type, all these things you can do once if you get to know how method works. So going on, everything will be about the methods. When it comes to encapsulation, right, we'll be using getter and setter methods. Setter methods will be using to set the data, and getter methods will be using that method to get the data. As you know, setting is different from getting. Setting is you are arranging it. Getting is you are fetching it. So in encapsulation, we shall see about the setters and the getter methods. So other than this, from tomorrow we shall continue with the objects and classes, inheritance, OOPS concept, polymorphism. All these things are about to get explored. For now, the method is all about these things: single parameter, double parameters, and method overloading. So when I say method overloading is that you have the same method name but different number of parameters and different data type. And this method is not that comfortable when you become a Java developer, because it can be used unless you have no other options to use it. Because every time method loading is not the answer when you have the requirement. You have to select method overloading unless you have no options there. So directly don't go for method overloading. On coming sessions you will learn the options of how to overcome it, but there will be a scenario too where you have to use method loading. At that particular time it is like you have no other options. Only at that time we will be using method overloading. Not like when you have a requirement straight away you go for method overloading, because it's very wrong to use method overloading, because as it if in the name it says overloading. So when you hear about the word overloading, it's not a good word. You cannot overload something. You can do it if you have no options. Just try to know the fact what is method overloading. You have the same method name, different parameters, and that you cannot use as and when you require. You can only use when you have no options. So I hope today's session about methods is clear to you guys, and from tomorrow we shall start with the OOPS, like class, objects, constructors, everything. Every concept is about to get explored. So if you have any doubts regarding the methods, you can ask me now. I will try to reach you out, by explaining it once again. So are you guys okay with the methods, like how method works in Java?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we shall end the session, and tomorrow we shall look into about OOPS, class, objects and constructors, and many more things. And if you have any doubt, you can go through the videos, and from today every video will get updated in the next day. Okay, tomorrow morning only I will just update the video, and whatever the sessions you have missed so far and what are the examples you have doubt, all those classes have been updated in the group, and you can go look into that. Okay, for
Okay,
now,
sir.
bye guys, have a great evening, we shall meet tomorrow.
Sir.